I think the software openclaw or AI agent or whatever it is, I think openclaw just is just overrated. Um, it's bad. It sucks, and it overall is very expensive, and it's just an overhype. I think we should stop using it, or even try to use it, to try to install it, and save some time and wait until another thing comes up, or just wait till it dies. So here's why I'm going to tell you several reasons why it's bad, it sucks, it's overrated, and why we shouldn't even try to install it. Based on my experience from the past few days of installing it and also trying to play with it. And that is my just my personal experience. Many people may have different opinions, but I'm trying to tell you what I think. So first of all, OpenCrawl. Whenever I go to its website, I just feel uncomfortable. The red color and even the name, the crawl. I mean, it's something aggressive. I mean, it's basically very aggressive, as its name suggested, crawling into your privacy, crawling into your bathroom, and something like that. I just feel uncomfortable and to think about it. And the website's design is just bad. I mean, all the dark color and red color, like a horror movie. Um, I just don't want to visit that website anymore. Um, but that's it's just a very trivial reason, and in my opinion. So many people may have different opinions, and but that is a very minor reason why I think it sucks. The second reason is the most important reason I think many people may also experience it is that you need a good second computer to run it, because your primary computer you don't feel comfortable running on it, and it's extremely bad if it will make it your primary computer vulnerable to security risk. So you need a second computer. Many people will buy the MacBook Mini, which is expensive, like $500, $600, but it doesn't really work on other second computers. So like with any old Windows computer, it rarely works. And what I have is I had a second laptop, 2018 MacBook Pro, Intel, um, Intel chip, and what I had there is I am running the OS system called uh, Catalina, the island Catalina, south of Los Angeles, and it just doesn't work there. So first of all, the Mac OS version of OpenCrawl, it needs I think it needs at least Mac 1015 or Mac 15 or something like that. And the second reason is that it needs the Node.js version to be 24 or 0.24 or something like that. And the 2018 Intel MacBook Pro just it doesn't support that, because the Node.js community decides that for the latest version of Node.js, it needed to run on at least the M1 chip or any Apple M chip or anything like that. It doesn't like Intel. So I spent over 2 days, I think, to try to upgrade my 2018 Intel MacBook Pro to um, something called Sequelinar or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it starts with the SEQ and U or I or something like that. It names after an American national park, and it has a tree cover wallpaper. So I need to buy a flash drive, a USB drive, which cost me $30 to make a external installer for that, because that particular OS system also don't like Intel MacBook Pro. So overall, if you have a secondary computer as any MacBook Pro before 2021, you are doomed, because you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get the new MacBook, uh, the new Mac OS, and then the new Node.js version, and then after that you can only after all these hoops in between, you also have a need to use a flash drive, USB drive, which costs you at least $20. Um, and then after that, you can only install openclaw, and even after you install openclaw, it's extremely slow because the Intel chip just isn't strong enough to handle all those LLM things. Even even though openclaw claims itself to be very lightweighted, to be very efficient, but it's only efficient on M1 chip. From my experience, it's extremely inefficient or slow or buggy on Intel chips. So openclaw is just something that you need to be very rich, um, or techy, or you have to be sponsored with a company computer with the latest M1 version MacBook, and you need to have a second computer of it. So my primary MacBook Pro is M1, but I don't dare to run openclaw on it, so I have to have a second MacBook Pro. But you need to have that second MacBook Pro also have the M1 chip as well. Otherwise, you need to buy a Mac Mini or rent a VPS from Oracle or whatever, DigitalOcean or something like that, which costs you like $10, $5 at least every month. And even that, even with all those money, you need at least like 2-3 days to install it. So what's the point? Because 2-3 days is like 50 hours, 50 hours wasted just on installation. The thing about it, you wasted 50 hours, like 1,000 minutes, and over like 30,000 seconds to install openclaw. And what it does, which I will talk later, does not worth all those minutes, does not worth all those seconds, like 30,000 seconds wasted just on installing openclaw, and it will not save you any of those. It will save you some amount of your time, but it won't add up to that amount of time that the initial cost is just too high, unless you have a slave that handle everything for you, like a secretary, like if you're a professor, you can assign a grad student to do it for you. But for normal people, You just have to do it yourself, and you need to take 2 to 3 days to install it. And if you don't have a good second computer, will take you even more. I'm very technological savvy. I know everything about command line, Linux, Mac system, Node.js, but it still takes me 2 days. It still took me three, th- three, 30,000 seconds to install it. And it's you have to wait. So my advice is you have to wait for a more like a friendly version of openclaw or other competitors that release an Intel Mac version of openclaw, and then you can install it instantly. That you have an installer pkg file for you to download on your very old computer, even on Windows. Like you have a 2015 Windows Lenovo, like a shitty computer. If you have a competitor software to openclaw that allows you to instantly download such openclaw alternative, and then you can install it instantly, like within 5 minutes, and then you can run on it efficiently, then I will consider running those AI agent software. Otherwise, I encourage you, strongly encourage you, unless you are extremely rich, unless you have a secretary to install, to buy a Mac Mini for you and install it for openclaw for you. Otherwise, I strongly advise you against trying to install, even trying to install openclaw, because the initial cost, not talking only about money, but talking about time, is just too high. It's just too much. And and after I have installed it. I try to play with it. Like you have some agents that you can have do something for you. Like you have some markdown file and check email. But the second thing is that you have to also open a second phone number to connect it to WhatsApp to talk to it. And that alone also takes me like a few hours to set it up. Like I already have a Google Voice number, but I don't really feel safe to register a WhatsApp, and also WhatsApp doesn't allow you to open a second with a second phone number. You have to jump through lots of hoops to like you have to go to WhatsApp Business or something like that. Um, for me, I use WhatsApp Business for my second phone number, but mind you, I already have a WhatsApp Business already, so I have to delete that number and try to register another Google Voice, and also I'm browsing through all those information about a second SIM card or something like that, and that is just a waste of time. That is just a waste of time. Why am I doing that? Why did I waste all those time to go through all those hoops to get a second phone number, to get a second WhatsApp account, to get a WhatsApp business account? You don't really need that, and that just makes your life uncomfortable, extremely compressed, and you don't need to do that if you did not even know about the existence of openclaw. You live uh, under a cave. That even for those cavemen, their life are much easier because they don't need to get a third phone number, don't need to get a WhatsApp business account, all those things. So these extra efforts for opening this kind of things to try to talk to openclaw, it just it's just a waste of time. And and the power of openclaw is also severely limited. It's extremely overrated. Like many YouTube videos, they lie about the power of openclaw, and they openly says that claims that because openclaw is still in the early stage, even though it can only summarize emails for you in the future, if you are savvy enough, you if you know lots more enough about openclaw, you will gain a significant edge over the others. Like it will do much more powerful things for you. For me, I think that is a complete lie. So first of all, I try to summarize. I open a anonymous uh, Google Gmail account using the third phone number, Google Voice phone number for me. Also reminds you that Google Voice, you need an actual phone number for to open it. So I have to jump through a hoop to get that third phone number as well. So, but I think I used my second. I think I used my first Google Voice number to for that Gmail because I haven't claimed that Gmail account yet. So I really forget about which one, but I don't feel comfortable at all to try to use openclaw in my personal Gmail. So but anyway, many people try that. Maybe they are naive enough to let that uh, to access the Gmail, but all those authorization thing, they're just it's auto clicks, and you need to browse through all those options from the Google, and at the end of the day, um, you 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 can indeed you can have an open agent that check email for you 24/7 if you have a computer on for that is, but checking email and summarizing email, I think I think you you it doesn't really save you much time. um, it will save you at most, even if you receive 100 emails every day. I'm talking about 100 emails. uh, People, I myself, I don't use openclaw on my personal each Gmail, but in case I do in the future, I still don't really see any significant time saving for me, because for me, I check Gmail, I check my email every day using at most 1 minute. I'm a quick cleanser. I read the titles of email extremely efficiently. Um, I also myself have separated, um, because I just get efficient about it, because every day I just get the same 100 emails every day, same types, same distribution, statistical distributions. Like 30% of those are promotion emails from Amazon or nuts.com. uh, the other or any, I don't want to say the company names, but nuts.com, rust.com, or anything like that. And the other some 10% is really about work, and 20% is about personal. So I can do all those things in 1 minute, and then I will click on the important one. And I don't really need to summarize the email because the email is short enough for me to read. So I on parallel, I understand that the openclaw agent will do it in 1 second, um, if you have a good enough agent. But okay, so it is saving between 1 minute and 1 second every day. So it's like 59 seconds every day. Um, and and it will be just like 30 seconds a month. So 30 seconds a month, not even a minute a month. and and then about reading the actual email versus reading a summary is even more ridiculous. I mean, because for me, I don't want to read the summary of email. I want to read the actual contents of that email, because I perfectly um, understand that for some slow reader, they may need to read the summary, but for most of the email, um, I mean, for a single email, if you go through a single email, the summary may sometimes be even longer than the actual content. So also Gemini can do it for you. So for summary, um, so there's no need for OpenCrawl to exist for that email checking thing about it. So all those YouTubers claim that, oh, having an OpenCrawl agent is like having a slave that runs 24/7 to check your emails, summarizing the emails, and which can save you like many minutes. But for me, it's like saving at most 59 seconds. And also they claim that the OpenCrawl will respond to the email for you, like you are doing yourself. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it does. But but I'm not sure. I lost in that argument, but yeah, it does reply to email. However, how can you trust um, open agent to reply to the email in the same quality as you is another issue. So OpenCrawl, the philosophy of OpenCrawl is that it, with enough time, can grow to be like you exactly, or any slave or employee that you want their type to be. Yeah, that's true. It grows like you. It's like another you replying to the email. But even me, I don't trust myself sometimes. So that's the problem. Um, Maybe you can ask yourself honestly: do you trust yourself sometime? I don't. For example, I when I try to respond to email, sometimes I think to myself like, "Oh, I really regret sending that email. I have to undo it." But so there's the existence of the undo button, but OpenClaw may not do it the undo button. So they may just send that response like within 0.1 second, and there's no chance for regret. So sometimes it's just better for human beings to do it yourself. And do it yourself is doesn't take too much more seconds to do it compared to OpenCrawl. But you can be sure that um, you are replying to that email accurately and to the best of your ability, and the best version of it. So because of the existence of undo button, and sometimes even if you send it out or you regret about it, you can still send a second reply to say, I'm sorry that I make this first reply. So here's the updated reply or something like that. But OpenCrawl won't do it because they are extremely confident. They see themselves as very intelligent, so they will just send one reply within 0.1 second, and there's no chance for you to say send to press the undo button or to send a second reply to for clarification. They won't do that because they are AI engine. They are too confident about themselves, and they are not trained to be like that. So that is the difference between openclaw AI agent or and actual human being because they are not prone to mistakes, and sometimes mistakes are variable and you need to make mistakes. Without mistakes you just don't seem natural, and you don't uh, sometimes you even lose in that game of replying in email, the game of replying to email, right? And yes, the advantage of openclaw is that or any alternative is that it saves you a lot. It claims to save you some efforts and time. Also, for the task of replying to email, also I don't see any point of replying to unnecessary email. But I think those YouTuber claims that they reply to every email, so sometimes I don't think there is a need to reply. And but I think that openclaw can also think about it, that you can select some of those emails to ignore. So that's not the point, but it just won't save you a lot of time. At most 30 seconds to 1 minute of your time, perhaps a month. So that adds up to 12 seconds a year. So 12 seconds a year compared to 30,000 seconds in setting up and installing openclaw. So it takes over like 10,000 years to compensate for that cost. So I don't see any point of doing that, even if that is just for one task and you have other tasks as well for openclaw to do, but it doesn't worth it. What I suggest to you is that to wait for any competitors to release a more user-friendly version of openclaw. Friendly means not about um, uh, uh, the use of the openclaw, but alternative, but the installation itself. So the installation friendly openclaw that can be installed on your computer instantly for Intel Mac OS laptop or Linux Raspberry Pi, Windows, extremely old Windows like Windows 2000, Windows 98, 95, because a lot of homes does have those leftover computer, and that is the chance for the competitive version of openclaw to really be variable. Because I myself uh, go to a lot of home that see there are computers with LCD screen with OCD or whatever thick screen that use floppy disks, that use Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows XP. That is the computer that is they are idle, and that are those computers that can really benefit from installing an openclaw on it. That if you turn it on 24/7, it does some tasks for you, computation for you, check email for you. Those are the idle computers that the competitors should target on. And if I, as long as I don't see those software released, I suggest we should stop consider trying to install openclaw, but wait for those installation friendly openclaw alternative to release. And then after that you can install it in 5 minutes, and then you can save you 2 days, a variable amount of time, 2 days, which you can spend on playing with your kids. You can spend on a picnic, a football game, an NBA game. You can relax instead of trying to install openclaw on some of those second computer or third computer. And the second reason why we should wait is that openclaw is not security, it's not secure, and we should wait for more secure version of openclaw, or any competitors of openclaw that release a more secure version of it, alternative alternatives to it. And you may just don't need to use a second computer. You can run it on your actual laptop. You can run it on your actual email, Gmail, and you don't need to open a second WhatsApp account like me. Um, so we should just wait for um, for it to happen. It won't take too long. I think it will take around 6 months for any competitors open more installation friendly openclaw. And I suggest all those competitors to think about more friendly name as well, like, because openclaw, as I just talked about it in the very first minute, it's not a good name. The website also is kind of scary, and I suggest you any. I think it will be a thing. So there will be many competitors to it, but so why not just wait? Why not just wait for more installation friendly? Why not just wait for a more secure, a more powerful even version of openclaw alternatives to be released, and then you can use it with full confidence that you may just even at that point, you may even think about it, like, does it really worth your 5 minutes to install it? Maybe perhaps you don't really need that to check. You don't need a second worker to check email or something like that. So yeah, openclaw right now, it sucks. It's overrated. It's You need to be extremely rich to have a secretary to really install it for you, to scale to be worth it. So, and I also hope that the competitors will win, because um I appreciate the developer of Omenclaw. I think he's a very smart guy, but to release its to rush its release, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense for people who can afford it to install it, but for the general public, like, most of us, they don't have a good second computer to install it. So, and it doesn't make much sense to install it right now. Okay, never mind. Okay, bye.